From our Washington, D.C. studios, this is the Muslim News on Muslim Network TV. Assalamu alaikum. I'm Hena Zuberi. Our top story for today. An elderly Muslim man was shot multiple times outside Masjid An-Nur, a mosque in North Minneapolis, on Monday. Authorities report that the 75-year-old confronted a suspect about suspicious behavior before being shot, and the suspect fleeing the scene. Police have a person in custody who they suspect will be the shooter. Despite the severity of the attack, the victim's injuries are not life-threatening, and he is expected to recover. The Minnesota Council on Islamic American Relations revealed that the victim's bravery in confronting the suspect led to the shooting. Police are still investigating the motive. Senator Bernie Sanders gave a primetime speech to delegates and activists gathered at the Democratic National Convention Tuesday night in Chicago. He said overturning the Supreme Court's 2010 Citizen United decision should be at the very top of the party's list of priorities. That ruling ushered in massive increases in political spending from outside groups and expanded the influence of wealthy donors, corporations, and special interest organizations. Sanders said overturning the decision is particularly important given the outside's role billionaires and dark money groups have played in recent elections. The Vermont independent senator stressed that billionaires in both parties should not be able to buy elections, including primary ones. He urged moving towards public funding of elections. According to the campaign finance watchdog Open Secrets, super PACs and other outside groups have spent more than $1 billion on federal elections this cycle, far outpacing previous election years. The largest spender so far has been Make America Great Again, a super PAC supporting Republican presidential nominee Donald Trump. The American Israel Public Affairs Committee's super PAC, funded by Republican billionaires, has also spent significantly on Democratic primary contests. These focused on ousting progressive lawmakers who have backed a ceasefire in Gaza. Representative Jamal Bowman of New York and Cori Bush of Missouri recently lost primary contests to Democrats backed by the pro-Israel lobby. In recent years, Sanders has repeatedly urged the Democratic Party to ban super PAC spending in its primaries. He argues it is hypocritical for Democrats to call for campaign finance reform while simultaneously allowing billionaire-funded groups to pour staggering sums into primary contests. During the DNC speech on Tuesday, Sanders also demanded an immediate ceasefire to end what he described as Israel's, quote, horrific war in Gaza. He said he looks forward to working with Democratic nominee Kamala Harris and her running mate, Minnesota Governor Tim Walz, to pass an agenda that strengthens public education, slashes prescription drug prices, and expands healthcare to all. Former White House Press Secretary Stephanie Grisham launched a scathing critique of ex-president and Republican presidential nominee Donald Trump during the Democratic National Convention. Grisham was a close advisor and part of Trump's inner circle during his presidency. She accused him of lacking empathy, morals, and honesty. Grisham also revealed troubling anecdotes from behind the scenes, including Trump's derogatory remarks about his supporters, whom he called basement dwellers. She also revealed how Trump expressed frustration when he was not the focus of attention during a hospital visit. Grisham recounted Trump's strategy of repeating falsehoods until they were believed. She also disclosed Melania Trump's refusal to denounce violence during the January 6, 2021 insurrection. She also disclosed Melania Trump's refusal to denounce violence during the January 6, 2021 insurrection. Her speech concluded with an endorsement of Kamala Harris, citing her respect for the truth and commitment to the country over party loyalty. During a stop in Howell, Michigan on Tuesday, Republican presidential nominee Donald Trump claimed Vice President Kamala Harris was the ringleader for this pro-crime and anti-police crusade. He also called Harris one of the first Marxist prosecutors in America and the godmother of sanctuary cities. Trump continued to falsely claim that Harris was responsible for passing a law that allows shoplifters in California to steal up to $950 in goods without being prosecuted. Trump first made that false claim during a press conference last week in Bedminster, New Jersey. In a significant move, the Biden administration has unveiled a new parole program aimed at undocumented spouses and stepchildren of U.S. citizens. Launched June 17th, the initiative allows eligible individuals to apply for lawful permanent residence without leaving the country, avoiding potential re-entry bans. The program, known as Parole in Place, lets applicants stay in the U.S. for up to 3 years, work, and apply for permanent residency. To qualify, applicants must have been in the U.S. for at least a decade, be legally married to a citizen before June 17, 2024, and meet other criteria. The program could benefit around 550,000 people, though it has faced criticism from some lawmakers. Morgantown High School in West Virginia has agreed to allocate adequate space for Muslim students to perform their Friday prayers starting this week. The move came after a year of advocacy by local Muslim leadership and the Council on American Islamic Relations, or CARE, addressing concerns about insufficient facilities. CARE previously urged the school and Monongahela School District to reinstate appropriate prayer accommodations. CARE Community Advocacy Director Nicole Fauster praised the decision, emphasizing the importance of officially documenting the prayer policy on the school's website to prevent future issues. She noted CARE offers information for Muslim parents seeking advice on religious accommodations, parental involvement in schools, and parental notification. Activists challenging FBI Watchlist targeting him for Palestinian advocacy. Details come after the break. Stay tuned and we'll be right back. Welcome back. American human rights activist Osama Abu Irshed is alleging that the FBI placed him on a secret watch list due to his advocacy for Palestine. Abu Irshed, who discovered his watch list status during travel this June, asserts that his inclusion is a retaliation for his criticism of U.S. policies on Gaza and his activism. He reports severe travel disruptions, including missed flights and invasive security checks, linking these issues to his Free Palestine stance. Abu Irshed is challenging his watch list inclusion through legal action with support from CARE. CARE has noted a rise in surveillance of Palestinian advocates since early October, calling the FBI's action illegal and a violation of civil liberties. The secretive nature of the FBI's watch list, exposed by a Swiss hacker in 2019, continues to spark controversy over the impact on American Muslims and activists. CARE National Deputy Director Edward Ahmed Mitchell said that the watch list has led to several consequences for some American Muslims, including closed bank accounts and intrusive questioning during travel. The X account of Egyptian-American comedian Bassem Youssef disappeared on Tuesday. The reason for the removal of his account, which has nearly 12 million followers, is unknown. Yusuf said in his final post on X that anti-Semitism has been overused and abused in order to intimidate people. Last October, Yusuf did an interview with British journalist Piers Morgan on Israel's war on Gaza that went viral. His pointed and humorous critique of Israel's violence against the people of Gaza and Palestinians received significant attention. Yusuf, a former cardiothoracic surgeon, has lived and worked in the United States since approximately 2015. A new report from Oil Change International reveals that countries and companies supplying fossil fuels to Israel may be implicated in war crimes. Many countries and firms such as BP, Chevron, and Exxonmobil have provided significant fuel supplies to Israel. The report, which uses information from Data Desk, highlights more than 65 petroleum shipments, including jet fuel from the US, that could be contributing to the genocide. Human rights advocates have long criticized arms supplies, but this report shifts focus to the energy sector. Israel, which has refineries, relies on imports for raw energy and gets it from all over the world. Azerbaijan, the host of this year's COP29 climate summit, provided Israel with 28% of its crude oil. Kazakhstan and Gabon each supplied another 22%. Brazil contributed 9%, even though it is led by President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva, a left-leaning critic of Israel's genocide. Mahmoud Nawaja, general coordinator of the boycott, divestment, and sanctions movement in Gaza and the West Bank, spoke harshly of countries that continued supplying Israel with fuel. The report cites Colombia as a model. The country's coal has accounted for about half of Israel's coal imports, but President Gustavo Petro just issued an embargo. A Palestinian prisoner identified as GV has accused Israeli interrogators at Ofer prison in the occupied West Bank of trying to drown him with toilet water. Released by the Palestinian Prisoners Board and the Palestinian Prisoners Association, the report detailed GV's harrowing account of torture and abuse. Captured on March 2nd in Khan Yunis in Gaza, GV described brutal treatment, including beatings, restraint, and humiliation. The report claims such torture, including surgery without anesthesia and sexual assaults, is pervasive in Israeli detention facilities. Israel has killed at least 52 Palestinians and wounded many more across Gaza in the past 24 hours. The attacks targeted multiple locations, including a Gaza City school and a busy market in Deir al-Bala. Areas like Jabalia, Rafah, and Khan Yunis were also hit, with reports of significant casualties. Residents of Deir al-Bala are fleeing their homes after evacuation orders as the Israeli military operations widen to Gaza's most crowded regions. Israel's Yediot Aharonot newspaper reports that 6 Israeli captives whose bodies were recovered from Gaza on Tuesday likely died from a gas leak in a tunnel during an Israeli military attack on Khan Yunis. In Lebanon, at least 1 person was killed and 20 others wounded in an Israeli attack on eastern Bekaa Valley, far from the border with Israel. At least 40,223 people have been killed and 92,981 wounded in Israel's war on Gaza in the past 10 months. However, a report in the British medical journal The Lancet last month says that the death toll from Israel's war on Gaza could exceed 186,000. Israel faces accusations of genocide at the International Court of Justice, which has ordered a halt to military operations. Pakistani police have detained Farhan Asif, a freelance journalist, for allegedly spreading fake news linked to the violent UK riots. Asif, who worked for Channel 3 Now, is accused of falsely reporting that a British-born suspect in the Southport stabbing of 3 girls was an immigrant. This misinformation ignited widespread violence against the Muslim community in the UK. It was first circulated by the tabloid CosiDeritKent.com and then amplified by a UK-based social media user. Despite Asif's denial and apology, the false news continued to spread online, fueling far-right protests. More than 1,000 arrests and nearly 600 charges have been made in connection with the riots. The case has been handed to the Federal Investigation Agency for further investigation. That's all from our Washington, D.C. studios tonight. Thank you for tuning in. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell icon for the latest updates. Your support is needed more than ever to continue our mission of providing informative, educational, and inspiring content in North America and around the world. Donate now by visiting muslimnetwork.tv/donate. For more content, keep watching Muslim Network TV or visit muslimnetwork.tv. Assalamu alaikum and good night.